And a wonderful good morning. Browning Marean and Tom O'Connor from the eDiscovery Zone, broadcasting today from ILTA 2012 at National Harbor. And it's with great pleasure that we have an opportunity to talk with Bill Hamilton, an attorney at Quarles Brady, but he's also now the Dean of an electronic discovery at Bryan University. Bill, I want to go right to the heart of it, right to begin with, and tell us a little bit about what Bryan University is doing and what results. And by way of full disclosure, I'm on the advisory board. They pay no attention to me, but go ahead.
We pay excruciatingly close attention to everything you say, Browning. We have a wonderful program. We put it together a year ago. The idea behind it is that eDiscovery really needs an apprenticeship program for people that want to improve their skills as well as people that want to get into the industry. So that was the idea behind it. Many vendors have excellent programs that teach specifically on their products, but we wanted to have a slightly broader apprenticeship program so people could move into the field or improve their stature in the field. And to do that, we sat down and figured out what's the curriculum that's going to work for that. How long is it going to take? And what we did is we came up with 9 one-month courses. We start out with a foundational program where we have a course for 1 month on basic introduction to eDiscovery. And yours truly embarrasses himself in front of the students in that course. The second course is a course on computers and networking to make sure they have the fundamentals of that. And then the third course is eDiscovery project management, focusing on project management skills. Then we do a triad of courses based on the EDRM model. And then we wrap it up with courses on budgeting, communication and negotiation skills, and then finally a smattering of case law, because we really feel our project managers, who are principally non-lawyers, we do have some lawyers and individuals in law school, but it's primarily IT specialists, litigation support specialists, paralegals that have been attracted to our program so far. And then lastly, and kind of the capstone, is we have a simulation program. You know, when you learn how to fly an airplane, they put you in a simulation environment, and we all know there's, eDiscovery's like flying up there in the clouds sometimes. So we have a program where we actually put them through a simulation where they're doing eDiscovery, and then they graduate from that into our crisis lab, where all of a sudden they're confronted with a typical problem that we face. All of a sudden, what happens when you get a terrible call from someone on the other side that says, by the way, we just noticed these attorney-client privilege documents that you produced.
Never happens.
No. Or geez, we just noticed that your tiffs are running together. They're all one document. All these kinds of typical problems. And we train our students. We do that for 2 reasons. One, we want the students to have confidence, and we really believe in our students, and we work closely with them. We have a fiduciary duty to our students, so we bring them in, we vet them, we want them to get good jobs, we want to build their confidence so they know they can do eDiscovery. And then second of all, we want corporations, businesses, and vendors to know that they can rely upon our people. And then the second component of it is to hire great instructors. And we've gone out and gotten some of the best people that do eDiscovery on a regular basis so they can share their experiences while they're teaching the courses. That's how we put it together.
One of my goals is to get Tom involved in the teaching. As you know, he's been in this industry a long time and brings tremendous skills to it. Tell us a little bit, though, about the technology that is being used. How could you employ somebody that lives in New Orleans, close to being underwater?
Do you have underwater cameras?
We'll send a boat out for you.
There we go.
So, but tell us a little bit about the technology, because in addition to the educational opportunities, I think the technology that Bryan is employing is really trend-setting, way ahead of its time.
Yeah, what we do is we're using a product called Blackboard Collaborate. And what that does functionally is when I'm teaching anywhere really. For example, I taught a class from my hotel room here at ILTA last night. Normally I teach it from my office, and I'm looking at the students real time on a screen. And what they're doing is they're talking to me, I'm talking to them with real live audio and video. I've got a whiteboard where I'm drawing diagrams for them so they can see various projects. Pulling up on my desktop, I can show my desktop and share that as well. I've used Browning, your wonderful eDiscovery budgeting tool, and worked through that with them on the desktop, which is an important part of our component. So it's a real interactive, collaborative environment. And ironically, I teach, and I'm privileged to teach at the University of Florida. I've been teaching eDiscovery there at the law school for 5 years. We've done great things there. But this creates an even more special environment because my students are looking at me in my office, and very few people see the mess and the chaos of my office, except for my Bryan University students. And I'm teaching them in their homes,
right,
or at their offices, and it's a very special kind of environment. And we all collaborate together. We have rooms, virtual rooms we can move into and have separate conversations. And that's the technology. And it's kind of interesting. One of our instructors, Scott Cohen, was traveling recently, had to do a job in Japan. He actually taught the class from Japan.
Wow.
So, well, really exciting. And I must say, I know tomorrow is a momentous day.
It is.
In that the first cohort of students is graduating. I've had the great opportunity of meeting with some of them, and to a person, I've always asked them, have you gotten value out of this? And the answer to a person has been yes, absolutely. And so I think the true goal of making sure that they all get employed and or move up in their organizations will be realized.
Yeah, we're very excited. We're having our online graduation tomorrow.
Well, we have Judge Facciola
exactly
speaking.
Oh,
He's going to be on Blackboard Collaborate. He's going to be doing the commencement address. So we're looking forward to that. I'll be there. I'm going to be doing it from Florida, attending. Don Gold, the president, will be at our offices, our corporate offices in Phoenix. The students will be around the nation, but we're all coming together for this session to make it happen. And, it really has been exciting, and we'd love to get you involved.
Oh, sure. Like Browning, actually nobody has a schedule like Browning. 5 continents in 4 days. But, in this business, we travel so much, but we've been, Bill and I have been exchanging emails for about a month and a half. But tell me a little bit, if you would. You mentioned people moving up in their organizations. Are we finding more and more of a pressure from whether it's law firms or corporations asking for some sort of, I don't want to use the certification word, but some sort of an ability to measure that people have some skill set that they are either current employers or prospective employers asking for that?
Of course. Wouldn't you ask for it as an employer? I mean, I agree with you that certification examinations are good. I was involved in helping put together the ACEDS certification examination. But the certification examination establishes a threshold. If you can't pass the examination, then you probably aren't ready to do eDiscovery work.
Right.
But if you do pass it, that doesn't mean you're ready. And what we do with our students over this 7-month period is we take them through every phase on a very practical apprenticeship basis. So when they go to the employer, they just don't say, I've heard about this and I've read about it. I've actually done it under the tutorial and direction of the best professionals in the industry. And here's my portfolio of my work that I've done. So I've handled this and I've handled that.
Right.
And I know this kind of problem, and I've been tested.
Right.
In a real practical sense, not merely in an academic sense. So we don't think of ourselves as a certification program.
Right.
We think ourselves as a educational, but not a traditional educational program. We think we're breaking the boundaries of education.
Well, certainly.
Not that there's anything wrong with this traditional education, but our students who are typically in their 20s and 30s, who are trying to make a career advancement, are looking for a more concentrated, practical, hands-on program, and that's what we're trying to provide. And the wonderful part is that's what we think the industry needs.
Right.
That kind of experiential background.
So tell me a little bit about one of the modules. I mean, how many hours of coursework, classwork, if you will, are people taking per week?
Yes, it's a a little bit of a forced march. We're in it seriously, and we vet our students to make sure they're interested seriously. For example, the course I'm teaching right now, which is the introductory course, we meet for 2 hours live in a collaborative session live for 2 hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Now, meanwhile, what they're doing is we have discussion boards we've created where I've raised questions. For example, here's a problem that we've got a particular company has been sued and they have to go through a collection process.
Right.
Have a discussion about how you would go about that. We build in more facts, obviously.
Sure.
And then the class works through the discussion, commenting on each other's points. Then what we do is we say, now we have to build a litigation hold. We have a wiki for that. So the students start working on the litigation hold together. Each one can see what the other one is contributing, but they work on that project. So they've got 2 to 3 hours. We're fully accredited by the Department of Education. So our students are spending X number of hours in class and probably an equal number and more out of class to meet our accreditation responsibilities.
Excellent.
So they've got to work hard at it. There's no doubt about it. And this is why these students are so wonderful, because they've got families, they've got jobs, they've got responsibilities, yet they're so dedicated to eDiscovery and see the value of this field that they're willing to make this personal commitment. And that's why we built it also, not as a master's degree, which the Department of Education would require about 1.5 years to do that. We know our people want to hit the ground running and get it done, do it in 7 months. So we figured out an intense, realistic program for our students.
Before we run out of time, we haven't asked, and what is the website or the URL that people can go to get some information?
Oh, it's www.bryanuniversity.edu.
And Bryan is spelled?
Bryan.
Right.
We have a number of we have undergraduate and graduate programs. The 3 graduate programs we have, 2 of them right now are in health informatics and eDiscovery.
Okay.
We're building another one in health and fitness management.
All right.
But so when you go to the website, click on the eDiscovery under the graduate programs, and it'll take you right there. Or else you can search for Browning. And we have his mug prominently featured in all appropriate locations.
Which may be the reason that enrollment is down.
Enrollment shooting up.
Bill, thank you very, very much.
Thank you for having me, Brett.
Bill, thanks very much for your
It's
time.
a pleasure, and we're going to be talking.
We will be talking more.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and that's it for now from the eDiscovery Zone, live from Tech Law Solutions booth at ILTA 2012. Thank you, and good luck.